One more day away from the end of the work week. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne, bringing you some news, things you might have heard for this day, as posted Thursday, November the 3rd, 2022. And it's actually news from mostly yesterday and maybe early this morning. But these are some stories you can chat about on your way to work on the bus or hanging out at the coffee shop, or if you still do water cooler stuff at work or at where my job is, people sort of wander in and stand by my desk and talk to me for extended period of times. These are the news stories you can talk about. That's more less chit chat, more actual good things that are conversational to talk about. And they're conversational, something we peg because you guys told us these stories were worth talking about. We post news stories every 50 minutes on our social media feeds on Facebook and Twitter. And as the reaction and the engagement goes, so goes the stories. These are 8 of the top stories that were posted from this day, not necessarily the top 8, but 8 of the top 15 stories, if you will, posted over the last 30 hours. 33 total news stories, I believe, were posted in this span of time. Let's get into it quickly, but first remind you that you can find out all about us and the things that us we's are getting done at this is a conversationproject.com. The main website has is this for you to find out about our feeds, our different types of broadcast vehicles via the web, videos and audio, and of course, partnerships and sponsorship opportunities that can help us keep things going here. If you believe we're giving good value, you can help us out that way greatly. Story number one this morning is one of the least important, I would say, but something that's going to have ripple effects across the airwaves all over the place, especially on people who still watch national cable news channels and national news, if you will. CNN employee morale at all-time low under Chris Licht. Chris Licht, which I'm totally butchering his last name, so apologies for that. Former producer who actually created Morning Joe on MSNBC is now in charge of CNN based on some super mega mergers, and he's the guy trying to right the ship there. Ratings have been terrible at CNN, and people know that. The news has not been so grand at CNN, although people there may not think so. But ratings are reflecting that no one's really watching, no one's listening, no one's taking it in. So Chris Licht is taking over things and changing things up big time at this point, working on things from the inside out. One of the biggest changes that happened this week is the launch of the new CNN morning show, CNN This Morning, which I've been a CNN fan and watcher all this time. I was an extremely good fan of when they opened up with the new show, or the past new show, which was New Day. Although what we have with the new show, in my opinion, is essentially the beginning, the way New Day started, and we'll see what happens when they change things up. It's a lot more chatty, a lot more conversational, and I'm not thrilled with it. But I'm I am their target audience, but they're not catering to me because I don't follow what the target audience mostly looks for, and that's actual news and less chat and less bright colors. But that's just me. The big issue with the story, that's not me, is that morale is low because CNN is looking to swap more positions and cut more people and do more things and change things up because the issue is the ratings. They're getting corporate sponsors, so they're not going out of business tomorrow, but they're not getting the eyeballs and fighting the fight against the other competitors. And so with that, everybody's head's on a swivel because they're all could be knocked out any point in time, and people are not exactly happy. Of course, this is a New York Times, New York Post headline. So the Post has been getting a lot of stuff semi-wrong lately. So, but this is the headline. It's really easy to believe. We'll see how well the morale actually is at CNN. Michigan State suspends 4 more players in fallout in incident in Michigan Stadium tunnel. Michigan State happened last weekend, and at the end of the whole shebang, there was a bit of a brawl where some Michigan State players literally beat up some Michigan guys in the tunnel. There's camera footage. There's people everywhere screaming. It's pretty obvious, and it's kind of bad. The fallout is still happening as 4 more players are getting suspended from the actual incident that's there. And the Michigan team coaches and basically everyone around is saying that Michigan State needs to be extremely punished for this action. This may have gone unnoticed because Michigan State aren't necessarily in contention for anything big at the moment. We'll talk about that in a bit. But because they are a major rival and big time football, at least in the state of Michigan, it becomes a big deal. Adele reveals the correct way to pronounce her name, not Adele, not Dell, but Dale, because apparently she's from the South now. She's from South Carolina or something like that. So she at a recent meeting with people, a person asked her a question and pronounced her name as she said properly. So like basically, Miss Adele, And I can't do it without sounding like, Foghorn Leghorn, Adele, because that's how I talk, I guess. But the proper pronunciation for Adele, which sounds all serious and pressy and whatever, it's not Adele, it is Adele. Adele, yeah, Adele. We'll see how long it takes people to figure it out. Trust me, the people are still calling it Usher. So, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Disney sued for copyright infringement over Frozen 2 song. That song in Frozen 2 is not the Elsa coming out song. Yes, I said it. It is the song entitled um, "Some Things Never Change." It's basically a Olaf song. Now, it was written, produced, and put on the soundtrack by Robert Lopez. However, TMZ says that a guy named Daniel Grisson heard the song in the movie and said, "Dude, that's my song." He is suing the Frozen peoples for money because that's what you want in the lawsuit over copyright infringement for his song in Frozen 2, for his song being used as the backdrop for the song produced in Frozen 2. Didn't see Frozen 2. The kid was too old for Elsa and all that nonsense by the time that came out. And trust me, I was so happy. Next story. Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, and Clemson top first CFP rankings. These are the top 4 teams in the college football playoffs rankings. So these are the top 4 teams who have a shot of doing this. Now, oddly enough, the number 6 slot, someone who's still in their contention in case somebody drops down, is Alabama with a 1 loss this year. Of course, Tennessee at the first spot for the first time in a long time, first time in the CFP era, and now it's just a matter of can they hold on to it and not screw it up like throwing goalposts into the river, so they have to pay for more goalposts. We'll see what Tennessee can do. Also, whether Georgia and Clemson, who are always basically there, are going to stick around. Ohio State, now one of the newer contenders that are always there as well. It's a power ranking thing where the same teams basically recruit the best top players, so they're always at the top of contention. Tennessee doing the flop, knocking Alabama out for now. We'll see if Alabama can sneak back in for a championship title win. We'll see what happens if they do that or not do that. I think the biggest story of this is Alabama because, from Alabama. But Tennessee, whether they can stick at the number 1 spot and stay in contention for a college football playoff slot for the entire rest of the season, we shall all see. Vince McMahon's investigation ended up costing $19.4 million in expenses. Just a note up front, I actually own stock in WWE, so this means a lot to me. What happened was Vince McMahon was investigated for some sexual harassment and just pretty dirty dog stuff before he stepped down as the CEO. Now the CEOs are co-CEOs, both Stephanie McMahon and Tony Khan, who were running the show mostly in case while Vince was masterminding the main stuff. They are now the CEOs of the business. And in their quarterly report, and they're explaining for the public yesterday, they announced that Vince McMahon's investigation itself that they did internally was about $20 million worth of cost going forward. Oddly enough, WWE was up all year anyway. It's been up a couple more sort of points that are more ceremonial based on the exit of Vince McMahon. And right now, as far as public companies and sports entertainment, WWE looks like a good bet for a while. It's not a solid buy, but it's basically a hold with a slight buy because right now they seem to be doing well. The numbers are doing well, although extra expenses are coming up with things, and they're trying to right size their shows and right size the title ship for their organization. Like I said, I'm a stockholder, I'm a fan, I'm a watcher of the product, and so I pay very close attention to these things, and these things make me happy, at least at the moment, because ultimately, it's just basically all about me. North Korea fires 23 missiles, 1 landing off South Korea coast for the first time. Excuse me, hydration break. So, it's not the fact that they're firing missiles. It's not the fact that they're firing them close to South Korea. It's the fact that they fired off 23 in a night, 23 in a region in a time. That's the most missiles they fired at once towards South Korea, just in their show of force, I guess, show of strength. South Korea is doing what it can to basically just be prepared for these things. They're not backing down. There are plenty of maneuvers and plenty of joint operations happening, whether North Korea likes it or not. And North Korea is doing what it can to just show that it exists, it's there, and it's not happy with stuff just by being menaces. This is a larger story than just North Korea as a menace, obviously, but This is a story that will never go away as long as the two regions are separate and they have their instances. It just is going to be a thing. And finally, Aaron Carter pulled over on suspicion of DUI while driving RV. This was actually the very top engaged story of the day over the past 30 hours. And we saved it for last because he's okay. It was suspicion. He was not under the influence of any intoxicant. He is fine. Check out the link. Another TMZ story. Yes. Check out the link for it and go deeper into how Aaron Carter is actually doing these days, but not necessarily a someone to shy away from trouble. This time wasn't trouble. Big time headline. Nothing of it. Let's tease a story a bit. We're going to tease about this one that I think we're going to see tomorrow because people were very interested in this one, and I'm seeing a lot of response to this. Something that we posted, we saw this thing, and we posted late last night, and early this morning I saw a lot of responses from other outlets. So we'll see. Chick-fil-A operator introduces 3-day work week, resulting in 100% employee retention. This happens in Florida. This is an independent operator. This is not so much the Chick-fil-A model, but he has literally a 3-day work week, and they can't keep people from applying for jobs at this particular Chick-fil-A. I will explain it in total to you tomorrow if you choose that to be, and you can choose that by following this story and following all our stories on our feeds. Go to it's theconversationproject.com/ go to thisistheconversation.com and look for links for the feeds. But the feeds are actually on Facebook, facebook.com/ This is Conversation Project, and twitter.com/ th_conversation. Had them come around. I got distracted for a second. Every 50 minutes, we post a news headline, and like it, love it, hate it, share it, engage with the stories as they pop up. The more you engage, the higher score we get for the stores. This is how we get our top 8 stories from the top 15 stories posted on Tuesday through Thursday. On Monday, we give you a 10 from the top 30 stories from the full weekend. You can engage with us and reply and tell us what stories we're missing. And if you're saying that there's stories we're not quite getting to, reply as well with stories you want us to talk about, stories you don't see, so we can get them into the queue as well. Also in the queue, ads. Bum, 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 bum. And today's main sponsor is Zenni Optical, Zenni. So go to thisistheconversationproject.com/Zenni for the best glasses you'll ever own because they're inexpensive and they just work. Although glasses just sort of work anyway. Zenni Optical will offer you the best lenses and the best frames that you've ever thought to look for without costing you an arm and a leg, and they will send them to your house. And if you don't like them, you can send them back. Glasses for men, glasses for women, glasses for kids, glasses with blue blocker technology and transitions technology, and everything you're looking for in your glasses that doesn't cost you a lot of money. You can check them out today, or maybe tomorrow, or a week from now. But check them out because they will take care of you. And as you use our link, the affiliate link that you'll hit on, you will take care of us as well. No extra cost to you, but we get a little piece for bringing you into the store. This is theconversationproject.com/Zenni is where I get my glasses, and you should probably try them too because they happen to be awesome. This is theconversationproject.com is our main website. Find out more about what we do at our website by going to said website. This is theconversationproject.com. We have links to all of our feeds that give you actually information, the website, the videos and the podcast, links to our partnership and sponsorship pages there, and also all our projects. Check it out when you get a shot at thisconversationproject.com. If you believe we are offering you some value, look for the partnerships banners and see if there's some way that you can help us keep things going here. We're going to keep things pithy, keep it moving, keep it fast and light by going to the today things you might not have heard. And they are birthdays. Starting off with Dennis Miller, who is 69 years old today. Dennis Miller, honestly, is my inspiration for doing stuff like this. Dennis Miller doing Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and then switching over to doing talk show stuff, although he's not the king of talk shows anymore, was basically my idea of, it was an idea that I could do something like the Weekend Update and, being a talk show host and doing those things all together. You can debate my success. I mean, I'm on a video thing, but that's because it's easy for anybody to press a button to do a video thing. I'm doing news stories. Pithy isn't working so well, but I'm trying to be a little bit smarmy. You can say whether it's successful or not. It's happening. It may not be popular, but it's happening. And I'm talking way too much about Dennis Miller, who's basically today, all he's done is live 69 years, which is a pretty good thing. But check him out for what he's got on. Happy birthday to Dennis Miller. Also, Dolph Lundgren turning 65 on the day today, making a resurgence back into the world of media, using digital technology to make him look like he's, 30 again, making those commercials for Old Spice, which are funny as hell. Dolph Lundgren hitting 65 on the day today. The bad Russian, I will break you. And Colin Kaepernick, who I have purposely said in the initial start of him becoming Colin Kaepernick, the messenger that may not be the most, might not be the messenger you want, but he's the messenger you got, and he's got a good message. Colin Kaepernick turning 35 years old today. I think it's pretty safe to say now that Tom Brady is going to have to give up football, the 35-year-old old football guy thing, that might be something we'll finally start giving up on. You might be more vocal in his activism coming forward because he's not trying to play football. He might take the full role of activist and take that forward. We shall see on that one. Maybe he'll be an actor. Jim Brown was an activist and did acting, so maybe that's what he'll do next. Today, we're going to celebrate Give Someone $1 Today Day. Now, there was also Sandwich Day, so I'm probably going to celebrate that by getting a sandwich for lunch. But today goes along with sort of what I do, if you will. Give someone $1 today day. If you know someone who is doing good work, doing great things, and like me, has a small business and trying to grow it, give them $1. You'd be surprised how much $1 means. It's a symbolic thing, and if enough people give you enough dollars, they add up to something. So think about that. Think about someone who's doing great today. Something I do, honestly, is I always have Starbucks gift cards. And if somebody does something really nice, really cool for me, I give them a $5 gift card to go get a coffee. It's just something I do. I always have around. So it doesn't have to be a gift card. It doesn't have to be cash. Me just a sentiment. But the whole point behind Give Someone $1 a day, which, yes, there's our things behind it, is that there are people out there who need a little something. And that little something, in the form of $1, symbolic as it may seem, can mean a whole lot more. One more thing going out the door that you may not have heard of today. People usually don't save their Black Friday circulars and emails from your year because that would be really weird. Here's the thing, though. Sorry, I didn't read that out purposely. The deal on shopping holidays aren't that great to begin with, and they also repeat them from your year. Yes, TVs, video games, and bikes. Flipping through the old circulars dating back to 2008, the Wall Street Journal noticed that the items and even the prices don't change very much from year to year on the front covers of print and digital Black Friday circulars. A Target spokesperson pointed out that the obvious thing, the items appear year after year because people want to buy them year after year. That's why 80% of the items on the front covers of circulars are the same ones from year to year. You're getting a deal on Black Friday, but it's not necessarily the greatest deal, and it's not anything particularly new. And it's literally not anything new because it's the same stuff. People are looking for gift stuff. So TVs, computers, phones, things like that are the big things popping up in front of your circular. And oddly enough, while the prices are discounted for that moment, not really all that great of a deal, to be honest. You're better off getting a TV in February when people want to buy them for the Super Bowl than they are for Christmas because a lot of those are just cheap TVs. Just saying. This has been Things You Might Have Heard for Thursday, November 3rd, 2022. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. This has been a joy and a pleasure to do for you today. We appreciate you being with us. The folks that I see the eyeball saying are watching us live. People will watch this on a replay over the past couple hours. And, of course, the podcast coming out in about 10 minutes after it processes and we post it up there. Thank you for helping us go through things. If you believe we are offering you some great service, great value, stop by our partnerships page and see if you can help us out, or just stop by the sponsors page and find a sponsor that we have there and use their link. They're all affiliate links, so we get a little bit cut back for what you do, and it costs you nothing extra. Want to make sure you are staying hydrated, staying limber, and staying on task, doing all the great things we need you here for. We're right under 20 minutes, so we're going to end this thing right now so we don't go over. We're posting new news stories every 50 minutes, so we're doing that thing. Check us out. See you tomorrow.